everyone, this is Locke and I, and welcome back to a big video on the Great Builds YouTube channel. Over the past few weeks, I haven't been posting as much, and that's because I've been working on one really big project for the city, and that is a project that I'm doing for Ninjago's 15th anniversary, which is expanding the main temple for the city. And along with that, I have a new character to introduce that I'll introduce later on in the video. So first, I want to talk about what I've done to expand this temple. So, if you're unfamiliar with my LEGO city, I've been using this temple from the Ninjago core line as the main, government building temple palace of my city. And in this case, I've decided to expand it even further than I did before when I basically just expanded the base of it to make it fit inside the city. So, what I did was actually rather interesting. I chose to expand it all the way to the back of the display. And this is going to be the only building that truly goes to the back of the display like this. I have some other buildings that are close to the back of the display, but I'm going to be building some mountain facades later, so this is going to be the building that is like the central focus of the city. So let's move on in closer and see exactly what I've done. So now that we're at the side of the temple, we'll get right to this in a second. I just wanted to showcase what's going on in the little meeting area or town center over here. And this is just a chicken build that's a portion of a build from a gift with purchase I got a while back. And I felt like putting a chicken here would be not only fitting for the channel, but also fitting because it's springtime right now, and I felt like that would make the most sense for a springtime theme to be in the town center, since I want to stick to seasonal themes for this. Additionally, there's a statue of the first Ninjago Master here for people to go and send offerings to. And this is just mainly a build that's taken straight from the Tournament Temple Battlegrounds set, or Dueling Grounds set. I forgot what the set was called. It's a set from Dragon's Rising that came out a while back, and I picked it up while it was on sale. So this was something that I wanted to use in my city as kind of like just a statue for the first Ninjago Master. Now, moving on to the side of the building here, you can see we start with the rock work that's used for the first section here. I even used some rock panels that I had in my collection. And there's just a platform up there, I guess, so you can post more figures. I might add some fencing or details there later. Moving up from that, though, it's the rest of the walls, which I wanted to focus on making it look Japanese-inspired, so they have these reddish-brown outlines with the white walls. And, of course, we kept the dark green roof, which will actually play into a character design that you'll see later in this video. Now, the roof design is basically the same as the one from the main set, although there's more studs. I didn't want to tile any of this off, mostly so I can pose figures on it for cool poses and stop animation sequences. There's also a tunnel on the side here that you can see that the train goes straight through the temple. And this was mainly just kind of a design I threw in there because I wanted the train to still be able to go around the city, but I also wanted this temple to carry on further back, so having the train go through the temple, maybe there's like a side train station inside the temple, maybe I'll design that in the future. That just seems like an idea that would work well for this city. Now let's take a look at what's on the third floor of the temple. So, now that we're up at the third floor of the temple, you can see that I've used the same style of walls, and there's just 2 plate-thick floors to hold everything together. This kind of reinforces it without having to worry too much about the stability of anything. And, of course, I've kept some of the details from the original set up here, including the little playing card and the newspaper with coffee stains on it. And, of course, the roof design continues up here as well. This is mostly just empty for now, but you would imagine that the royal family would probably be living on this floor, and I do want to add a little feature of a Samurai X cave below it. We'll talk about that a little bit more, though, in the next section of the video. So here on the other side, I did something a little bit different with the rock work. I decided to make it a little bit more structured, and in this case, we have a passageway for the trains, again, with the covering overhang of it, and it just creates a tunnel effect. And then we also have the entrance to the Samurai X cave I mentioned before. Right now this area is empty, but I will be designing a Samurai X cave later, and I wanted the Samurai X cave to be connected to the main temple for reasons I'll explain in a little bit that will make more sense when I get to the next part of the video. But overall, I just created a small driveway that goes in there. I'm not finished tiling it off entirely. I had to go out and buy some other parts to be able to finish this, but again, the roof design carries on, and it looks very good in my opinion. Now swing around to the front so that I can introduce the new character. So, moving up to the front of the temple again, you can now see how it kind of just looks very complete from the front now. Instead of having like an open back like the previous temple did, or a black backdrop like the previous temple that I customized did, I decided to just, go all out with it, bring it all the way to the back of the display. And I think this makes it one of the most impressive sized buildings and probably the largest building that will ever be added to the city in total. So I'm pretty happy with this. But as I mentioned before, there's a new character to introduce, and that character is actually sitting on the throne right now. So I'm going to remove her from the throne in there, and we're going to take a look at her character and do a little bit of a minifigure review in the meantime. It's not Thursday, but it's time for a minifigure update for the LEGO City. So, the character I'm going to introduce to the LEGO City and my LEGO Stop Animation Universe storyline today is Ariza Rita. She is the princess of Squawk Island and the daughter of the Empress that I am currently designing a figure for. This is her in her royal getup, which contains a very ornate styled dress that I found on a minifigure station from the LEGO stores, the Build Minifigure stations, and I also found a cool, interesting cloth cape design. It's a little interesting here. It has two different parts that come to the sides. That was from a minifigure series selection that I got a while back. She also has some shoulder plating to kind of make it look a little bit more of a powerful, inspirational person look. And she has a crown on top of her head. And she does have this, cool brown hairpiece, which I've been meaning to find a use for. It does work pretty well here. She also has a scepter in this form, which will kind of pertain to something you'll see a bit later, which is the green gem you'll see on top. But first, let's go and take a look at what she looks like when she's not, doing the royal duties of being a princess and just hanging out in casual wear. So here is Ariza in her casual outfit. I figured I should make one of these because all the characters from my Stop Animation series do have a outfit that they wear when they're just hanging out, and I felt like it would be good to have Ariza use the same kind of outfit. Now, this ties into the temple design and the fact that she does use dark green as her main color that she uses, and it's just like an outfit that looks like she's wearing a dress, but it also has looks like she's wearing a hoodie on top of that, so that's kind of just a nice casual design. The hoodie piece was a nice touch that I got from the Pick-a-Brick online system as well. Now let's move into her new samurai form, and yes, I said samurai, so let's get right to it. So this is still Ariza, even though the outfit seems a lot different than before, and this is her in her Samurai X outfit. So I decided I wanted to have a Samurai X in my series, and the best way I could think of doing it was have a character that already lived in the world of Ninjago, unlike the other characters that I'm creating that came from another world. And in this case, she got inspiration from the mainland of Ninjago after Nia became Samurai X to try and create a Samurai X suit for herself. Coincidentally, she does have an elemental power that works quite well with the idea of a supersized mech suit. So, Ariza is the elemental master of radiation, which is kind of interesting because, well, it's not an elemental power from the main series. It's another elemental power I created for my series to make it a little bit different. The elemental power of radiation basically is a twist on nuclear weaponry in the sense that she does come from the royal family. She needs to protect her city and her island that she lives on. So the main purpose of her being the radioactive samurai, as we'll be calling her, is that her power allows her to take pollutants from the air and condense them down into effectively nuclear weaponry that she can use to defend the city and also create power when the city's dragon is not really providing enough electricity for everything in the city. It's just a generally cool character idea here, and because of that, she gets a samurai suit that's combined with elements of an overprotective hazmat suit design. So there's a lot of armored parts to her character, but she also has the samurai helmet. There's a black visor covering her face, and of course, she also has this cool backpack build here that has a cannon that amplifies her power and condenses it into one given location. All of her vehicles kind of do this as well. And while I won't be talking too much in detail about the vehicles today, I just wanted to showcase them in their partially complete forms. There will be videos showcasing this later as well. But with that out of the way, let's go back to the city and finish up this video. Well, that was a bit of a longer video than I was expecting, but I did get to showcase the new character, Ariza, for the storyline of the LEGO City, and also, I got to showcase one of the biggest projects I've taken on since I started this current layout of the city. I'd wager that it took me about as long to plan as it did the entire mountain project in the city. So it's definitely a really large project that took quite a bit of time, but I'm pretty happy with the outcome. And If you want to see more videos like this, good news. Since this big project took so long to actually put together, I actually started working on some other projects on the side that are also nearing completion, so there'll be plenty of videos for the LEGO City for you guys to see in the future, as well as me doing some revisiting of some older sets that I reviewed on the channel a long time ago to go back and review them again. I'll talk about that more in a future video though. With that said, I hope you all enjoyed this video, stay tuned for the next one, and I hope you all have a great day!